take my mind. Yes, you.
Welcome to another episode, Change Tomorrow Today. It's always a treat when the players and the players meet.
Charge.
I'm one of your hosts, AJ.
Man, y'all know I'm Ralph Baby, and we have the beautiful Miss Vic in the house.
In the building.
Yeah. So how you guys doing today?
Man, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
You guys look good time. Good
you guys
week.
looking good, man. Y'all all right?
You too.
Yeah, you
Man,
too.
you know I stay fly. I ain't gonna lie. I stay looking good 24/7.
Sure,
It's
bro.
an easy job. Somebody got to do it, man.
You look good.
somebody
You
got
feel
it.
good.
That's
You feel
right.
good.
That's right.
And then when you feel good, they pay good, right?
Hello.
That's right. Bro.
Yeah, buddy. Today, man, we're gonna have a very good conversation. Today, we're gonna be talking about broken homes. Broken homes, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the cause of the broken homes? You know what I'm saying? And how do we prevent it from happening?
Right.
Like, I
Broken
think everybody up here grew up in a broken home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I did. I know, and to be quite fair and honest, man, I didn't realize I was growing up in a broken home till like some of my classmates used to bring their mom and their dad to class or to school, and I was like, damn, I wish I had a dad.
Yeah.
You know, so then I realized, oh man,
I'm missing out.
yeah, I'm missing out. You know,
Yeah.
but I thank you to my sperm donor though. You did a good job, brother. You know what I'm saying? but nonetheless, man,
Hey, I'm here.
I'm here. Hey, I'm here. He did a great job. I appreciate the brother. But I want to ask you guys a specific question to each one of you.
Okay.
How did you feel growing up when you realized that you were in a broken home?
Well, man, I realized it. I remember first going back to school. My mother, she was doing everything on her own. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes she had to make the money stretch.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the nice clothes, the nice shoes and stuff, you know, because Pops wasn't there. So, of course, I resented him for it. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, you know, I realized, because me, I don't really like to point fingers, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what he was going through at that particular time when him and my mom, when they split.
But how was it for you as a young man when you realized it though? Like, what was that day for you like when you like, damn, like I feel like I don't have this. Like you feel inadequate in a way,
I
right?
felt
Like you
tough.
don't add,
Listen,
like
man.
you didn't add up. Like
Yeah,
I don't add up. You know what I'm saying?
I felt rough. I felt rough, bro. You know, going to school, seeing the kids with the new Jordans, the Huaraches, and I'm wearing Payless Bobos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know.
Payless was that spot though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I used to be like, Mom, you know, but she couldn't, and I understood because Mom had to take care of my other siblings. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't do it on her own or whatever. You know, maybe that's the reason why girls didn't like me. I didn't have the nice clothes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So all of that played a part. I even went weeks without getting a haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went weeks without, you know what I mean? So I get it. Go ahead.
That's
What
tough.
about you, man? How was it when you first realized that you were growing up in a broken home? How did you feel that day?
I think it's a little different for me because there wasn't like a day that I realized I grew up in a broken home. My parents were young when I was born, so my grandparents kind of took over. So it was always a thing. Like my grandparents, I called them mom. My grandmother's like mom. So it was never like a realization.
And so who'd you call dad?
I didn't have a dad. My dad was in prison.
So you didn't realize, you didn't think it was a broken home with a man not being there?
No.
For real? So
It didn't, honestly, the lack or like my dad not being there, it didn't really affect me till maybe middle school.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But as a kid, like growing up, my mom, I grew up in a broken home, so I grew up with my grandparents, mostly my grandmothers. But my mom she wasn't physically there, but she was there. So, you know, I didn't experience the growing up with Bobos because my mom made sure I had designer clothes. She
Okay.
made sure I had everything. She just wasn't physically there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So my
okay.
pain was more or less like, I want you to physically be here, which accounts a lot for how I am now. When I tell people, you can't buy me, you know, like, because I grew up in that environment where
Yeah, so it's
anything
not-
I wanted, I got it.
So you're not really impressed?
Yeah.
You're not really
It's
impressed.
more of an emotional, like, you know, like mental, emotional. That's what I care about because the physical is nothing.
Like, okay, so like, I want to know this because for me it was a little bit different. So I want you guys to answer this question that I'm going to ask you guys, right? Because for me, like I said, when I was growing up, my upcoming was a little different because my mom is Haitian.
Oh,
She
yeah.
came in this country and I was born in Haiti and I came here when I was small, right? So for me, her struggles and being in a broken home, it was inevitable because
Right.
my sperm donor, he was a player. So
And he was in Haiti still.
No, he was in Canada. He was
Oh,
in Canada
Jesus.
first. He was to send for my mom to go to Canada, but he never
Never
did. But
did.
my auntie sent for my mom to go to
I know
New York.
that's right.
So yeah, so you know, so it was inevitable. But nonetheless, like, you know, I always wondered and said to myself, I wonder what's the cause of a broken home? Like, what causes
Yeah.
people to have children, bring them in the world, right, and then split?
Oh.
So my thought has always been, as I'm growing up and going through the motions, and I'm realizing things. And I say to myself, man, you know, when I have kids, I want to make sure that I give them what I didn't have,
Yeah.
which is more important than anything to me is a healthy home,
Yeah.
both parent, family home. You know what I'm saying? And I always wanted a woman that grew up in a household with both parents.
Yeah.
Because I feel
So
like
she
she's going to understand it more.
Yeah.
She's going to appreciate it more. You know what I'm saying? Because so even when I was younger, I always knew I'm not going to have kids with just anybody.
Right.
It's got to be a specific type of person. She has to fit the mold because I want my kids a certain way. So as you guys were growing up and you guys were, you know, getting into the mix with different people, how did you guys think that you guys could prevent that from happening?
I didn't want to have kids.
You didn't want to have kids?
I didn't want to have kids.
But you have kids now, though.
I do. But if my mother was here, she would tell you, I always told her I didn't want to have kids. Like, that was my thing. I was like, you know, you're going to have to wait for my brothers to give you grandkids because I don't want to have any kids.
So what changed your mind to have kids?
I got pregnant.
Well, clearly, of course, but
But it wasn't planned,
Was
you
it
know?
a surprise?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on? This is not life.
Uh-huh.
Not
but
my life.
did you see yourself being married to this man like before you?
So I had my daughter with her dad, which was my high school sweetheart. So it was very much possible. But you know, life happens.
Right.
When you date somebody from such a young age and you're constantly growing and evolving, things sometimes just don't work out.
Yeah.
But so in to stay on topic as far as broken homes and things like that, because I didn't want her to grow up in that type of environment. I feel like even at a young age, because I had her at 18, I made sure that me and him had a relationship in which she never felt like she was lacking.
Right.
So,
Right.
like my daughter now being 13, her first time saying, I wish you and my dad was together. She was like 12.
See, that's her realization of
Right. She just,
Yeah.
right. So, because before that, she never even, we're not in the same house, but you feel the love coming from both directions at all times.
But it's a
Yeah.
different kind of love when you can
It
get
is.
both at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
So, I mean, but granted, even with that, I make sure that that's possible. Meaning, we still do. We do Sunday dinners, family dinners. We all together. We kick it because at the end of the day, he's my friend first. And we dated when we were like 14, 15.
yeah.
It's like all the way into our 20s.
That's really cool. That's really
So
cool.
it's important to me, for me, I talk to him, it's important to have that bond, that relationship where we're cool. That way she don't feel like, she not missing nothing.
Yeah.
Meaning like if it's an event at school, we both there. Like both her parents there, like what's up? You know, so it still feels like it's a whole,
A family.
even though
still feel family.
Right.
Even
And
though it's not, but it's she still
she's
gets
adapted
feel.
to it.
Yeah, she's adapted.
She's adapted. So she knows, okay, I go to my dad's house to spend me and dad time alone. I'm with mommy, it's me and mommy time.
Yeah.
Which would be the same if you were in the same house, right? Mommy time, daddy time.
Yeah.
And then me and him do things together where it's family time.
Yeah.
So she doesn't feel like, oh, she's missing.
Yeah.
And she's adapted so well to the point where like if she goes over there and she's there too long, she calls, oh, I'm ready to come home. I'm ready to come in my room. I'm ready to, like, that's
Yeah,
her
yeah,
vibe
yeah.
now because I kind of molded her into that so she doesn't feel like she's missing anything from her friends.
Got it.
And now she talked to me and she's like, oh, this friend, oh, her dad is like this. And like, she's like, oh, I'm happy I don't have to deal with that. And it's like,
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
girl.
See, my
So what about you, my brother? You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? What precautions did you take to say to yourself, you know, you don't want your kids to have that same type of upbringing that you had?
Well, my situation is a little bit different from yours, Ralph. You know, you're married. Because me, I had my daughter when I was 18 years old, my first girl. I was a junior in high school, man, when it happened. When when my BM, when she broke the news to me, man, I was like, what? Because it was after a football game, and my heart just dropped. And I was like, damn, how I'm going to tell my mother and my pops that I have a baby on the way? You know what I mean?
And you're still in high school.
I'm still in high school or whatever. And of course, you know, when I told my mom, she was very supportive of the situation. Not so much of my dad, you know, even though he wasn't around like that.
Yeah.
Still was like, what
Yeah,
the-
but you know what I'm saying? Of course. Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? So because of my dad, because my father wasn't around, I made it my job, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My due diligence to go above and beyond for my daughters. You know, I overly loved them. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though me and their mom, we split, we parted ways and stuff, but we still had a good relationship with the kids. You
Which
know
is
what I'm saying?
important.
Yeah, exactly. We never bashed each other. You know, even
That's
though
the
we,
key.
right? Even though we had our problems, we never bashed it. We never presented it in front of the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
kids, they didn't really know that me and their mom, that we had friction.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
How
'Cause
it's
we-
supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we kept them away from that.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
like
I'm saying?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
that was key.
So you
That was
guys,
key.
so both of you guys have a good relationship with your,
yeah,
Yeah.
with your-
exactly.
Okay, okay. Because because a lot of people tend to be like, place the blame on the other person as
Right.
to the reason why it didn't work out the way it
Right.
should have worked out.
But like I was saying, it's like when you think about it and you really like, it takes for you to get older and mature, but you realize that everybody going through different phases of their life. So you really can't point the finger at one person or another because you don't know what that person was going through. You know, you don't know why they made the choices they made or what, you know. So once you can get to that place of understanding, I feel like a lot of the things that you worry about, you don't really, you're like, okay, I understand.
Right.
You know, so like with my mom and my dad, I'm like, I get it. Like, I'm not mad at you.
And also too, with the mother of my child, I thought me and her was gonna be together forever.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really did. Thought we was gonna get married, we was gonna have this family, but it didn't work. It didn't
It
work
worked
out
out that way.
Right, and we realized it. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think? I'm glad you said that because there's a lot of people that grew up in broken homes, right?
Yeah.
Do you think their situations might have been similar to yours, where their mother might have thought, "I'm gonna be with this man forever. We're gonna get married," and then it never happened.
Yeah, it never happened.
It never happened
Right.
because it seems to be like a thing in our community, like in the
Yeah,
black
black
community.
community.
Yeah, where we have a lot of broken homes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my thing is, who do we blame for that within that scenario?
I don't think there's no one to blame.
Blame, right?
nobody to blame, right?
Because me, I don't.
Circumstance
take blame out of
happen.
it.
Of it, correct.
And I think we can move better if you take blame. Because
Yeah.
when you start blaming, nobody's going to get anywhere.
True.
See, I like that.
Yeah, you're not going to agree.
Everybody is.
Agree to
is part.
disagree.
Yeah.
This didn't work out for whatever reason, and let's see how we can move forward in a
Right.
better way to maybe
Right.
upbring this child so this child don't do the same thing.
Right.
And
Right.
if the child did, I mean, understanding that we're living,
Right.
we're humans, we constantly evolving. The decisions I made yesterday, I may not make today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, you gotta kind of take the good with the bad and keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing. That's right. That's right.
And if you
Yeah.
like, just make the best out of your situation.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That is true.
Because I made that decision at like 19 when me and him separated when we were like 21, I think. And it was just like, you know what? We're going to keep this as a family unit. Like whatever. I don't care who you dating. I don't care who I'm dating. This, you know, and it's been times where like I remember for my daughter's fourth birthday, she wanted to go to Disney. And so I was dating someone at the time. And I'm like, hey, you more than welcome to come. But this is a family trip. And I'm taking the trip. Because my daughter doesn't know the difference of me and her dad not
Right.
being there. She doesn't
Right.
understand it. She doesn't even care. She just knows that she wants both of her parents there. That's what I'm going to do. And that's how it's always been.
So y'all take trips together.
If we have to, for the child, whatever
That's
my
dope.
daughter want, I'm going to do it.
That's dope.
I don't want someone else to feel uncomfortable. I'll invite you even if you know. But most of the time, people not comfortable. You know, they're
Right.
like, oh, no, I don't. That's your choice. We all got choices to make. But for my daughter and for her to be happy, this is what we're going to do.
Okay. So let me ask you guys this. So within our community, you do you guys think or believe that the people that represent us in our community, you think they're doing a good job at preventing broken homes from happening? Or do you think it's a lack of responsibility on their part, not thinking about what may go wrong when you meet that person? Because a lot of times you meet somebody, right? You only focus on the things that you like about the person.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? You find that one trait and you just hang on to it. You're like, oh, I like this person.
And when the bad traits come, now you like.
But not even that. Not even when the bad traits come. You so focused on that one trait that you found about the person that you like. You start drawing hearts.
Yeah.
You start
Yeah.
writing your name with
Yeah.
their last name.
Yeah.
All that kitty stuff, right? You never paid attention to the bad trait.
Yeah.
The things that come out of his mouth about being a father. Oh, man. Oh, I never had a father. Well, I don't give a F. You know what I'm saying? Like the little things that he says that should be red flags. You kind of like, oh.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Let him go. And then so when it does happen, you find out, oh, you're pregnant. He doesn't want to be a father because this happened a lot in our community.
Yeah.
Or the mother makes a bad choice and sleep with a guy when she first meet him the first night and think it's going to be happily
And
ever after.
boom.
Yeah.
So I'm saying within our community, you think people are taking responsibility to make sure that this kind of scenario doesn't take place,
No.
doesn't happen?
Of course not. No.
No, right?
No, that's why it's continuously happening.
You're
Think
right.
about it. This isn't something new. This is 70s, 80s. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
new. This is something that's been around in the black community for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
That nobody's taking account of it. Nobody's thinking like, oh, this person may be terrible, or hey, he got 5 red flags. I need to walk away. No, that's why it's terrible relationships happening. Perfect example that would be, people who are dealing with DV relationships,
Yeah.
domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Okay.
You know, like the person hit you one time, you're like, oh, he won't do it again. You know, like, and it just keeps going. And it's not nothing new. This is
Right.
from probably the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah.
just, it's unfortunate. I think instead of trying to prevent broken homes or focusing on preventing broken homes, I think it's more or less we need to focus on having better relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because some things are inevitable. Some people get married, they're married for 20 years and they get a divorce. So it's it's not to say that, you know, a marriage is what's going to save or create a happy home. You know what I mean? And even with that, it's like, if it's a broken home, that doesn't necessarily make it bad. Because sometimes two people being together in front of that child is bad.
Yeah.
That child watching or seeing the parents fighting and arguing, that's bad. That's traumatic. That causes a whole bunch of other problems. So I think instead of us focus on like, let's stop broken homes, let's focus on building better relationships.
Yeah.
You don't think we can do both? We can focus on better relationship and prevent broken homes?
Better relationships will lead to less broken homes.
Not necessarily, because you just said you could be married. You could be married for 20 years and you could still get a divorce.
Right. But so because you really can't control whether the home is broken or not, you can't control having better relationships with people, right?
Yeah.
You can control that by navigating red flags. Okay, let me back. That's better relationships with people. That's understanding where you belong and where you don't belong.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think if we do that first, we'll be a lot better off as far as broken. It'll be a lot less broken homes because people will make better decisions.
I agree with I agree
You
with
get what
that.
I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it.
If I
because-
see a big red flag, oh my God, this man said he don't want to have kids, but I'm still going to keep dating him. I'm still going to keep having sex with him. Oh my God, now I'm pregnant.
Right.
Most of the that's what happens. And then now you created a broken home just because you didn't really focus on the relationship. You didn't focus on the positive, negative to figure out, is this where I really should be?
I agree with that statement because I dated, women. I dated plenty of women, and when the red flags presented themselves, I was like, you know what?
Let me back up.
I'm not having no kid with this woman. I'm
Yeah.
not. You know what I'm saying? Just like what you just said, you wanted your woman to be a particular way or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So you
I
run into
always
a
wanted
woman that
man.
didn't
Right.
have the
Didn't-
standards that you
right.
want.
No,
Like,
I always wanted that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I always
You know what
wanted
I'm
that.
saying? Exactly. Because, me being a single father, I raised my kids a certain way. So, of course, I don't want to get with a particular, with a certain woman
that's different.
that's totally different. You know what I'm saying? That go against whatever that I believe in or whatever. Because I don't want one thing, the least thing that I want to do is going back and forth with me and a woman about how we're going to raise the child. You know what I'm saying?
And that comes from knowing the relationship,
Right.
building the relationship, like understanding where we stand in this relationship. Because every seasonal people,
Right.
there's
And
some
that's
people
how-
that's just in your life just for a season. They're here but people, they become lifelong people because you didn't realize that was a seasonal person. You didn't realize that it was a temporary person
Right.
just to get you to whatever point or help you build your, you didn't realize it because you don't know how to build relationships. You don't know how to navigate relationships. So in the Black community, I think we would be a lot better off if we learned how to navigate relationships.
And probably make better decisions on who we sleep
Who
with.
we
Exactly.
sleep with. Yeah.
Right? Because that's the very important
That's
key,
very
man.
important key, man.
Yeah, it's very important because that's the thing. I see a lot of women. They'll meet a dude, and I've witnessed it because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I witnessed it. They'll meet a dude, and they'll be like, "Man, yeah, it's just fun, nothing serious." And I'm like,
3 months later.
Right.
"Nah, not even. Sometimes maybe more." And then they come by and they're like, belly babe. I'm like, "What happened?" Well, and then I'm like, "Where's dude?" I'm
Because you didn't take the
"All
time."
man. Like,
Right.
here you go again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't really think our community is ready to do just what you just said, better relationship. And I don't think the parents today that's raising kids for tomorrow are doing a good job of teaching their kids that. Because I'm seeing the next generation that's coming after us,
They're wild.
they're wild, and then they have kids too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
And then their kids is like,
The problem I think with that is, in their defense, it's different. It's different.
what's different time?
Time is different. Every generation has like differences, right? Like, so you see the progression. Let's say people born in the 70s and the people born in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like people born in the 90s. So like I look at these kids now, and I'm a 90s baby, and I'm like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not even necessarily the parents. Because remember, 90s babies, which I think we're the last sane people. The 90s babies, we didn't grow up with social media. We
I
didn't
agree.
grow up with.
I agree with that.
We didn't grow up with video games. We had them, but you wasn't in the house playing video games
we
all
played
day.
outside.
You had to go outside. You was forced go outside. You know what I mean? So you had a different upbringing as opposed to these kids now. The stuff that they can find on social media, or even not social media, the internet. Remember when the internet came? Like really came out? We were still in the 90s.
But you know what? What the only thing I disagree with is I know time changes, but morality still remains the same, right? Because like my daughter,
parenting.
Yeah.
the way you parent your child is
but
everything.
no, these kids, listen, you can tell them 1,000 times.
No, I get it. No, I don't disagree with you because I know kids like that. But I'm just saying though, but I think it depends on the parent, right? Because you could have a child who's not listening, who wants to be bad or whatever. We all have that,
Yeah.
right? Want to be bad, but you got kids. It's not they're trying to be bad. They are bad.
no, they are
and
bad.
they saying F you to the mom. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah.
Parents don't have no
blah, blah, you know what I'm
control.
saying? They have no control.
Yeah.
That's a total different thing with time changes. To me, that's just terrible parenting. To be honest with you, that is just terrible parent. When a child can curse you out, disrespect you, and cuss you out, forget a child trying to act out.
Yeah.
We all did it,
Like,
bro.
how did they get to that point where they can cuss you out?
Because like when we were growing up, we did a lot of things that we weren't supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing about my mother never knew nothing I was doing wrong on the
Nope.
outside.
Yeah,
Nope.
same here, bro.
And you know why?
Same here.
Because
Because I knew better.
not even that. Yeah, that. But the respect never changed.
Yep.
When I came home, everything seemed normal.
Normal,
But
man,
once I step
yeah.
out the door, it's on. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why she found out once I step out the door, it was on because my little sister, she snitched on me.
Snitched on you,
She
right?
said, "Oh, Rob."
Gotta love those little
She's like, what?
siblings.
You're like, yeah, Rob.
Right.
She went and opened the lock. Look, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
My mom had no idea because it was all about respect.
Yeah.
Love and respect.
Right.
But you know what I do is what I do.
Right.
But these kids today, I don't think the parents are doing a good job of preparing them for tomorrow or giving them the right
But
advice.
can we be fair and say they probably weren't prepared?
But then why, if you weren't prepared?
Why are you procreating?
Yeah, don't
They
you
don't
want
know no better.
No, I understand. See that?
They don't know no better.
Then if we get
It's a bad cycle. They don't know no better.
But then when I'm saying, like, if we know the cycle is taking place, and I'm pretty sure we all at this point know it's a cycle taking place.
Right.
When are we going to take accountability and be like, you know what? Let me reassess my situation before I reproduce. Because there's a lot of dudes I know that's fathers that's not really fathers.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I mean, like they had the
Yeah.
kid, they might go pick up the kid, but once they pick up the kid, they ain't
going to
spending
the
no
mama
time with the
house.
kid.
They going
They ain't
to-
doing no
yeah.
activity.
Right.
They're
I'm
not being.
glad you said that.
Yep.
Time is everything,
Yep.
man. It's time to me. Time is more important than money.
Money. Yes.
And time
That's
is
what I
money.
was
And we
trying
had
to
that
say.
conversation many
we had that
times, bro.
conversations many
Time
times.
is more important
That's
than
why,
any dollar.
man, that's why with my girls, I spend time with them. Even though now they're older now, they're like, oh, Dad, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But I make sure I spend time with them.
You have to.
That I'm present. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
Because-
there's a confusion on what time it looks like.
Okay.
You know, I really do.
What do you mean by confusion?
Because you can spend time with your kids without going anywhere.
Yeah,
Without
yeah.
spending,
We don't have to go nowhere
So I
else.
think there's a
Right.
huge misconception where people now, that's why, like you say, like why the parenting so bad, they think that you have to actually do something.
No,
You have
man,
to-
you can just
and
sit
it's like,
down and
you
talk
don't.
to your
House, right.
kids. Yeah,
You
yeah.
could be in the same house and they're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's a matter of how you navigate with
Yeah.
Yeah, the
parenting.
conversations
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Explanation you give
spending
them
time
for
could be
certain
so many
things.
different things.
Yeah,
What
And I
they're
don't
going
think-
through and see what
Yeah,
they're going
yeah.
through.
Just
too, you know
just
what I'm
simple
saying?
conversations, you know what I'm saying?
Little time like that, you find out so much anyway, as opposed to going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so I definitely think that's a problem too. Nowadays, people think they have to go somewhere so they could take a picture and say they took their kid somewhere and they spent time. And it's like, that's not really spending time. Because
Yeah.
y'all not even talking. Like, you don't
Right.
even know what the child favorite color is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's
you know,
true.
so I feel like it, but again, it wasn't like that back in the day, right? Times have changed.
Well, I don't really call it time have changed. I think parenting have changed.
Yeah, parenting
It ain't
has
time. It ain't
changed.
time
Right,
because there's
right.
nothing new under the sun.
Right.
You know.
Like the old
Parenting has
school.
changed with the times.
Yeah. Because
You know what I'm saying?
people are not parenting anymore.
No, but okay, fair enough. When you say people are not parenting anymore, we're talking about broken home.
Yes.
And so, like, for me, like I said, like, I didn't realize I grew up in a broken home. I just knew what the dynamic of my situation was,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's the same thing, and that's in the 90s,
Yeah.
where my mom wasn't able to be physically present for whatever reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and for her, she felt like it was sufficient enough to spend the money.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna send her a whole bunch. I'm gonna send her a bag of designer shit. She gonna be the flyest one at school. Not understanding that's not spending time.
Yeah,
You understand? And that was going on in the 90s.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, it's bad. And she grew up in a household with both her parents. She didn't grow up in a broken home.
Who, your mom?
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, like, to be honest with you, I didn't have much time with my mother or many conversations. Like my wife would tell you, I raised myself. I just
Yeah.
kept the core what she gave me.
Yeah,
From when I was
course.
same
small.
here, same here.
Yes.
Because remember, our parents are immigrants.
Yeah, so I just kept the
Yeah.
core what she gave me was always respect. Respect
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And it take you a long way.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
Always respect. You always, when you meet somebody, you shake their hand. If it's a man, if it's a woman, you kiss
kiss
her on
them.
the
Yeah,
cheek.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You always show respect. So I always kept the core. But as far as like her spending time, she had no time. As far as her giving me game, she
Don't got
had,
it.
I had to find that for myself.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, same here.
So
Yep.
me being the person that I was, when I had friends and they had fathers in the home, what I would do is I would talk to their father, ask them for advice, get as much game as I could. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Positive, good game, because I can always find a negative. You just going around the corner. The negative is right there. You don't got. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta look
we
far.
coming from.
Man, we ain't got to ask nobody for that. They gonna give you that for free.
That's where we come
Yeah,
from.
for free. But the good stuff, I had to pick people's brains. Like, I'll be on the bus stop, old head always talking to me. I'm like, yo, explain this to me, man. You know what I'm saying? When you was, so that's how I got my game.
Yeah.
And I figure, I said, you know what? Once I have children, I don't ever want to be excluded. I don't never want to be
know
present.
what's going on.
Matter of fact, my BM, she'll tell you, man, when my daughters were born, boy, I was in her chest. Like, man, I'm taking my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want them to go
As
through
you
what I.
should.
Yeah, you want
what
to
I
be present.
through.
You want to be
Exactly.
present because a
You know what I'm
father's
saying?
very, not saying that taking anything away
No,
from
but
a
a
mother,
father is important.
but a father is very important because
Right.
that confidence you get from
Right.
from that man. Because I watch like even when my daughter, she's very humble, so she's spoiled,
that.
but she's very humble. And I be watching and I'm like, yo. And me and my wife would be talking. I'd be like, yo, if I have what she had at her age, man, I'd be a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she's
I
just
say that all the time.
she's just like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
She just, she's just
But
very
that's her
cool.
norm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
her
my wife
norm.
said. My wife said, you got to understand what your norm was and where her
Yeah,
norm
it's
has
different.
always
Always
been is
been,
different.
yeah,
Like
different.
my son,
Yeah.
he's just like,
Whatever.
you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell that his confidence and her confidence, they're the same, but his level is different. I guess because he's 9,
Right.
so
Yeah.
he's more cocky with it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, of course.
And he's a male. It's a male and female.
Yeah, so he's like,
aspect to it.
Daddy's gonna take me to get shoes,
Yeah.
not mommy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I take him, I want that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you see, so like, and they're growing up in a home, not a broken home.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
kids are growing up in a home.
Yeah.
And so, like for me, yeah, my home may have been broken. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
Literally,
But-
how
but-
you're describing your kids. That's how I grew up. It was.
but I'm saying though, like I agree. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying in the back of your mind when you think about it, did it affect you in any way in a negative where you could say, damn?
It affected me emotionally.
That's
Only
exactly.
because I knew that okay, I don't have those two, but I didn't lack anything.
Right.
Meaning, I got the attention, the love, I got it. It just wasn't from my parents.
the two
parents.
most important people
Yeah.
that you needed
Well,
from.
see, no. See, now when people say that, I have to correct them because that wasn't my upbringing, so it's not my understanding of life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's not my
I get it.
understanding of life. So when people say the two most important people, let me tell you, my grandmothers are the most important women in my life.
But that's because
And
they
if
raised you
anything-
though.
Exactly.
But I'm saying though, but in reality, the two most important people. No, you don't.
I
Agree?
love my parents. I have the greatest relationship with my parents now. But the most is if I lose one of my grandmothers, I'm probably gonna be in a psych home for a little while. Like I'm gonna go crazy. You
Got it.
understand? But if God forbid, like let's say my dad had to go back to prison, I'm gonna be sad. But I'm gonna figure it out. Like you just figure it out. You keep it rolling because that is how you grew up.
Got
That's
it.
how I grew up. So the two most important people in my life are my grandmothers because
Okay.
that's who I knew.
Okay.
And like how you do with your kids, I knew. Man, I ain't gotta ask twice.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
want
yeah.
this, go tell grandma. Grandma, I want this, and I'm gonna get it. It's
Yeah,
no question.
yeah.
Ain't no
Yeah.
grandma. I lived in the Virgin Islands for a while with my aunt, one of my great aunts. I want to go back. I'm going. Like it ain't no question. Ain't no. Oh, we don't have the money. I'm going. So I grew up a little differently. Yeah, the home was broken, but it was just more on a mental. Like damn, why the fuck y'all not here?
Yeah.
But I'm not missing nothing. Shit.
No,
my life's still going.
But emotionally, I'm pretty
Emotionally.
sure it still bothers you, right?
It don't still bother me, no. Because
Oh, you got over it.
I've come to the understanding as an adult. My mom had me when she was 15. Like you don't know. I told her there's no way in hell I would have been able to have a baby at 15.
Yeah.
Mentally, I would not have been prepared. And I feel like the way I grew up made me a lot more mature than whatever. But I could have never made a baby at 15.
Yeah.
Jesus, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would have done.
I can understand
Yeah.
that. But
So I respect it. Like I understand. Even my dad, he's a product of his environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was upset for a while. Like you don't went to the feds, you went to prison. I'm mad. Then I thought about it. You're a product of your environment.
Yeah.
You did what you had to do or what you felt like you had to do at that time.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's
It's
a
hard.
great line, man.
Yeah.
Because there's many things like a lot of times it's a great line, man.
But I feel like to be a whole human being, you can't hold on to stuff like that
Yeah.
because people are people.
People, yeah, that's true.
Everybody makes mistakes. That's just
Everybody.
life.
Yeah.
But, and with that being said, brother, I got a question for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I want you to, no, for real. I want you to tell me this, man. If you can go back and not even go back, but you talking to these younger kids that's probably watching or whatever, what advice would you have for them as far as like trying to make sure that they don't become a product of a broken home within a home that they're building? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be a better man than what you may be today.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
would
good
tell
question.
them. I would tell them to listen to their parents and respect your elders, because that takes you a long way. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays I see the youth disrespecting the elders, and they don't understand. In Creole, there's a saying that the old heads used to say, "Maldition." You know, how do you say it in English?
Man, I have
You
no
don't know how to
idea,
translate, but you know what I'm talking about,
But
right?
my sister used to get that all the time.
Right, right. Like bad luck, or whatever.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why a lot of these kids are going through certain situations, getting killed in the streets, getting locked up. You know, don't get me wrong. When we were coming up, we lost some friends along the way,
Yeah.
but it's even worse now.
But what about choosing a mate to have kids with? Is really what I want to get to. Like, what advice would you have for them in regards to that?
Oh,
Choosing
choosing a
a
mate.
woman, you know what I'm saying? And then before you have kids with that woman, you know, making sure it's the right person for you. You know what I mean?
I think the thing is, the most important thing is two people coming together and sitting down and talk about your dislikes, like things that you don't like, things that you do like.
But as a young kid, you don't really know what you
yeah,
like.
that is true. That is true. You know, you got a point there.
Yeah, you don't know. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You
Right.
just know I like this person like me.
Right, because you just going.
But in the heat of the moment, because I'm pretty sure you were part of the heat of the moment.
Right,
We all were.
right.
What would you say to them?
Man, I would tell a youngster, man,
Throw
wear a
water on
condom.
that fire, boy. Hey.
Wear a condom. To be honest with you, hey,
You say wear a condom, that's it. Just wear a condom.
Because guess what? Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because my mother used to tell me, son, don't have sex. Because
Yeah.
if you do, this is what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
This is the consequences.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to Mom Dukes. Guess
Yeah.
what? I had sex and ended up having two.
Oh, you didn't wear a condom.
I didn't wear a condom.
I didn't even listen to what
I ain't
you
even
said.
listen to
Yo,
it.
you a
I ain't wear no
fool. You didn't wear a
condom.
condom?
Nah, man. I didn't wear no condom, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how it
Ooh,
happened.
boy,
man.
you a trip, boy.
That's
you
right.
just said you going raw dog. Boy,
I
look
went
at-
in,
But
man.
you know what though? I appreciate the honesty in that
Right.
because the reality is that happens a lot more than you would think.
Oh, no, I
You
know it
so
does. I know it does.
in conversation,
Yeah.
though, you know, guys try to put on the front. Oh no, I'm not doing. And it's not. It's like you're.
You talking about going raw?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
no. I
that's
can tell you right now.
actually something that's happening.
No, that's
That's
not.
what
No,
creates-
it's happening, but
Right.
but there's dudes out there that take that shit. Like, the only person I've gone raw with is my wife.
Yeah, but that's how it should be.
No, I'm saying listen.
That's how it should be.
You're not gonna like. You're good enough to lay with, but you're not good enough to have my. That's how I used to look
Right,
at him.
right.
I'm saying, and I'm not disrespecting anybody. I was young.
Yeah.
You know, the
But at least
fire
you made
was
that smart
Yeah, the
decision.
fire was on. I was
Yeah.
like, boy, I ain't gonna throw water on the fire, but I'm gonna protect myself, and I'm gonna make sure. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you ain't getting none of this drop.
Right.
None of this drop.
The fire
going
was
in.
on, bro. I looked at that rubber. Just do it. Hey, man, but hey, that happened.
It's life.
Man,
It's
you
life.
a fool with it,
I
man.
learned from
At
it.
least you honest though.
Yeah.
But
I learned from it, but I didn't continue though.
But giving
Exactly.
advice to the younger kids, what you tell them, just cover it up. That's it.
man, you know, cover it up. Yeah,
Cover it up?
Cover it up, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's the to prevent babies and catching diseases.
Cover it up.
Both.
What about you,
Just
Ms.
both.
Vic? Same question. How would you tell a younger woman to protect herself from having children before
Early.
marriage, early or whatever, with the wrong person, with the wrong person? Not saying your baby's father is the
Yeah.
wrong. I'm just
No,
saying,
I get
just for
you.
them to be
Yeah.
careful. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, they gonna do what they want to do. Honestly, so sometimes you get to a point where it's like I'm kind of just talking for no reason.
Right.
That's how I feel. So if I had to tell a young girl like, hey, my only advice would be make sure you know where you're going in life. You know, if I talk to them, I always ask them, where you going in life? Where
Yeah.
you trying to go in
Where
life?
you want to be? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because that determines
That's a
what you're
great
gonna
question.
do.
That's a great question.
Some of them, they don't, if you ask them that, they don't want to do
But they're young. They don't really know. They don't know.
No. When we were that's the difference in the age thing. When we were coming up, we had desires, dreams. Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a
Yeah.
this. These kids don't have that.
Well, they don't
So-
need it because they can go on social media
Media.
and see it and feel it. They can
True.
feel it. We didn't have
But
that. You know what I'm saying? We
that's-
only had imagination.
Imagination.
Yeah.
But the reality is they need it. You do need it.
No, they
because
do, but-
everybody not going to make it being an influencer.
Yeah.
Everybody not going to make it with YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At some
yeah.
point, you're going to get old. At some point, you need 401k. You need,
Yeah.
you know,
You need
so
something.
when I talk to them, that's how I talk to them. What are you trying to do in life? Because if you're really not trying to do nothing, and a lot of them are not, they're not at the place and mentally that they're trying to do nothing, nothing you say to them is going to stick.
Yeah.
Nothing you say because they don't even know what they're doing.
But yet and still, what would be your advice? Yet and still,
My advice is, hey, as long as you can live with your decisions.
Yeah.
But they don't know. They don't know if they could live with us.
When you tell somebody, like that's my way of telling a person, you could do what you want to do. Just make sure you can live with the decisions you make.
But you young, man. A lot of decisions I made, I thought I could have lived with. Well, I didn't even think about living with it.
You have to live with it.
No, but I didn't even think about I could live with it because I was younger. So I was just doing whatever. You know, like I said, it's
My mom used to say that to me.
what?
Exactly that. Whatever decisions you make sure you can live with it. Because she said when I was younger, I used to always be like, let me live my life. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
So
Like
you
that was how she's telling me, don't do this like this. And I'm like, I'm gonna live my life.
But you think a 15-year-old girl knows about what, you know, consequences
and
she gonna
guess
live
what?
with? She don't know.
I was around that age. And so she used to tell me.
But you grew up around older women, though, your grandparents, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they talk to you
and I
differently.
was one way in the house and I get my ass outside and I'm acting like something else.
Yeah, but these kids, man, they so lame in the brain, even though they so faster, they so much faster, but they still
They
lame.
moving too quick.
Yeah, so they don't know what a consequence you got to live with means. To them, it's like, I'm having fun. You know what I'm saying?
They know as soon as they get pregnant, have that baby and the man gone.
But I'm just saying, how would you tell them to prevent that from happening? From your perspective,
from
your
my
point of view.
perspective, and being a female that been there.
Don't be so. I'm just saying.
Be straight up.
No, I'm saying be nice and soft. Don't be raw thuggish.
Nah, you got to.
Because that's a thuggish advice you gave. You deal with the consequences.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
you
all I could.
but you gotta be soft though. Come on, man.
Like, okay, all the young ladies.
There you go.
this.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yes.
As long as you can live with the consequences that you make, the decisions that you make, if you can live with those consequences, whether it be a baby, whether it be a STD, whatever it is,
Oh, God.
if you are prepared to live with
They're
the
not
consequences,
prepared.
I know they're not, but you got to throw that out there because when it happens, I already told you.
Yeah.
That is my way of telling. That's my way of telling you. Wrap it up.
That's
right?
why I say work.
That's
hard.
my way of telling
why I
you,
say
hey,
that.
be careful what you're doing out here, who you doing it with. That's my way of
But you guys
That's
are-
my way of telling you research.
You guys are aware. You guys are aware that condoms don't stop
Prevent nothing.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, just wear condom to prevent babies.
Because you know
what I'm saying?
back in the day.
But you know, not sleeping with people that you don't see a future with does prevent it, right?
But that's what I was.
So
that was my main thing. I would say. Like if you know, 'cause you young, like you're not gonna. Sometimes, man, the other head's gonna think for you.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because
I'm not.
I had plans for when he took over in my mind. I said, okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm covered and I'm gonna pull
You see,
as well.
you were
Because
able
you ain't
to
gonna
make
get me, boy.
decisions.
You was not gonna get me because I said to myself, that was my biggest fear. Somebody getting me.
Yeah.
I'm covered. And I'm gonna pull the cover, and I'm.
Because you know this generation, they're highly
They don't
sexual.
care. Yeah.
Because
like-
they don't understand the consequence. You know what I'm
right.
saying? They
And
don't
that's why
understand the
I say-
consequence.
And
of
but the
wrap
problem
it
I
up.
have is I don't think that they don't understand the consequences.
No, they don't.
You have to understand because you have more accessibility to the consequences than we had.
But they don't have the
Our
common
parents-
sense that we have.
That's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault. It's the society. But
That's
I'm
what I'm
just
saying.
saying.
But when we're talking to them, it's not your fault that they don't understand the.
No, it's not
It's
about
only
fault.
my job to say, hey, don't
No,
you see
no,
the shit
no.
that's going on?
No,
out
it's not
here?
about. It's not about fault. It's just more so. You know, you still want to make sure you protect the ones you love from bad situations because you don't want them to have to deal with a consequence for the rest of their life.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Especially
Yeah.
as a kid, you try your best to go above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? I know I do. You know what I'm saying? I'll speak till my face turn blue. I'm not gonna stop. Then I'll start cussing at you. Maybe that'll work. But I'm
You
not
gotta find
gonna,
different ways.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let you make the mistakes that I made when I can
Yeah.
prevent it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's crazy now, man, because shit, I'm seeing people my age are grandparents now.
Yeah.
39, 40 grandpa. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh yeah.
Hey man, it's happening out
That
here,
shit
man.
is
It's
crazy,
happening.
man. You know
I think
what I'm
my
saying?
mom was a grandparent at like 34.
I'm like, golly, that shit is crazy, man.
It goes down.
Yeah.
It goes down. So
That's what I'm saying, bro.
So the thing is, we got to figure out how to reach the young,
Right.
how to speak to them in their language where they can understand what we're
Right.
saying to them.
To
If
try
you want to
vent-
continue to
right.
live the fast life that you're living, you want to continue to enjoy the things that you're enjoying, going out, partying, traveling, meeting different people, slow down.
Slow down.
Wrap it up.
Right.
That way
To
you can
prevent-
continue to live the life you're living and figure out where you're going. Because that baby whether we agree with it or not, a baby's going to slow you down. In one
Yep.
way or
Yep,
another,
yep,
it's going
yep.
to slow you. You can't go eat at them fancy restaurants
And like
all
I tell,
the time no more.
and like I tell my beautiful precious daughter, sex is overrated, baby.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And I always tell her, this is what I tell her. It's just like you got a chocolate chip cookie. This how I explain
Once you
sex to
bite
my
it.
daughter. No, not bite it. This is how I explain sex to my daughter. I say, you know what I'm saying? You got to look at your body as a chocolate chip cookie. You got chocolate chips all over it. Every time somebody come and take a chip away, you're losing value.
Value. Hey,
And then pretty soon, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a chocolate chip cookie with no chocolate chip in it.
So what happens when for the people that like the chocolate chip cookies with no chocolate chips?
Well, those are the people I don't want my daughter being with. I don't want her being with those guys.
It's funny you say. Hey, bro, it's funny you say that to your daughter. You know what I tell my daughters, especially my older one, because she's strong. And I remember one time she was helping me move a table or something. I said, babe, I said, you see how strong you are? The minute you give it away, you lose your power. And she stuck with that. Like, she had that in her brain,
yeah,
bro.
Man,
That's good.
That's what I told her.
I had to explain to her, man, like the most important thing is making sure you keep all your chocolate chip on top of that cookie, man. And then when you find the right person, they're gonna appreciate it.
They're gonna appreciate it.
There's only one chip that's been removed, and they removed it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, man, it keeps going in her mind, and it don't stop.
Right.
Well, so you parents out there, what we trying to do is we trying to give y'all some game. We trying to elevate you guys. We trying to stop broken homes, which we know you really can't stop.
And this conversation is important.
Yeah, so we know we can't stop broken homes, but at least you can do is have a conversation with the young ones and give them insight to make better decisions. Because there's no way to prevent it. People are going to do things they want to do, however they want to do.
But let's give them guidance.
Give them guidance and give them the information to make the right decisions. With that being said, man, part 2 is going to be accountability. So I ask you guys to tune in. Don't leave. Sit right there, man. It's about to get on and popping. You feel me? We love you guys. And once again, we ask you guys to please like, subscribe, share, comment. Most importantly, subscribe, and like, and comment, man. Let's have conversations, man.
Yeah.
And I promise we're going to talk back. We're not going to just say thank you for the conversation. All right. We're going to get back at you guys. We're going to really get into intimate conversation. Matter of fact, I think we're going to let y'all talk to Vic when y'all make comments because she's really good at replying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's
get
really
that
good.
Vic.
Yeah. So once again, we
Just
love y'all.
tag me.
Yeah. Once again, we love you guys, man. We appreciate you guys, man. Have a blessed day.
Peace.
Love.
You cannot take my mind. You cannot take my heart. You cannot take my soul. You cannot take my goals. You cannot stop my time. You cannot stop my grind. What's mine will always be mine. I was born to be a fighter, left alone in the fire. Had no one to come and save me. Had to learn I have to save me. Mama always told